Hey friends, welcome into my channel. My name is Jackie Alves, and today I'm going to be showing you a massively fun, huge transformation video that I know you're going to love. So stick around, it's going to be great. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and we're going to get cracking. So right now I've got a little bit of makeup on already. I've got, some great skincare, primer, foundation, powder. I've got a little bit of blush and some eyeshadow. And if I was just going out for like maybe lunch with my girlfriends, I might let my hair down and curl it, put on some mascara, and of course I would do some lips. But I wanted you to see that this is just a good kind of basic start to my makeup. I got my hair up in this goofy ponytail, but I am actually going to show you how to use something amazing. All right, I've got a beautiful wig here from Wigshi, and you know that I struggle with hair loss. I mean, just look at this lovely hairline. So I'm always using extensions. I'm looking for hair toppers. Remember that one video? I tried that really cheap hair topper and it looked like I had a guinea pig on my head. It was horrible. So I started looking for good quality options for my hair loss. And I found this company, Wigshi, sent me this gorgeous wig, and it's customized to my head. I chose the shade, everything, it's gorgeous. So I'm gonna be trimming the lace front off of that, slapping that on. But first, let's get up to a ramped up next level makeup look, which I know you're gonna love. So I haven't even done any contour yet, but I'm gonna go in quickly and just do a lightweight contour with the lightest shade. This is just a neutral contour shade. And I already have a tiny bit of blush on, which normally I would do contour first and then blush, but this is just, maybe I've already got a little bit of makeup on and I'm gonna kick it next level. I'm gonna get in and, take it up a notch. Bam, bam!
Bam, bam!
I don't even think anybody even likes Emerald anymore. But I can't stop thinking of him when I think of the word take it up a notch and then scream bam. I don't know what it is. He will live on forever in those words. And you guys know I have a makeup academy here. Pretty hilarious last night. I was telling one of the students, that's looking great, but tell me what you did. And she's like, I've added a little bit of brown eyeshadow, and then I brought the eyebrow up a little bit higher. And I said, it's beautiful, you did a great job. And she said, yes, chef. My students are calling me the Gordon Ramsay of makeup. They say I'm nicer, but still, they call me Gordon Ramsay of makeup now. It's hilarious. They're calling me chef around here, which is better than ma'am. That's fine. So right now I'm just doing a little bit of contour on my forehead, because even though I am going to be slapping on a beautiful wig, that is not going to take away from the fact that I have a forehead the size of China. So I'm still contouring it. I'm still bronzing it up, and in my mind, it makes it less gigantic, if you will. And if you won't, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna take some contour right now and go underneath my jawline to sculpt this sucker out a little bit. I've got enough forehead and enough chin that it calls for a little bit of extra contour. All right. Bring it down on the sides just a little. That way I can bring a little bit of that contour here to the middle, and it helps add a shadow right here. Love that. Now, I don't normally show off so much area right here, especially with all the redness I have, but because I'm gonna bronze it up just a little bit around my shirt here and try to take away from so much redness. So just trying to, balance the color. All right, I'm gonna use my Blue Eyes palette by Limelight and just take this beautiful creamy shade here using my soft shadow brush. I'll just go ahead and apply right on the entire eyelid from lashes to brows and bring it up underneath the brow and get it in the middle. I already have a tiny bit of brown liner on from earlier, but I'm gonna go in and accent that, so you're gonna love it. Okay, I've got a little bit of this dark espresso going here that I'll use for my second shade right after the cream. And I'm just gonna put it right in the crease here. I started with a little bit, but now I'm gonna really ramp it up with a nice big crease brush. Now the Blue Eyes palette is a little bit different than some of the other eyeshadows you see me use. Some of them I'll do a lot of pat and tap, and this one I like to swirl and blend a little bit more just because the formula is different. It's vegan, it's talc free, so a little bit more blending and swirling is allowed. You don't have to be quite as careful with these, which is great for, like, you know, an everyday eyeshadow, an everyday chick. Maybe you're like, Jackie, I do not do next level eyeshadow. That is not my jam. This is a good formula for you then. It's really easy to work with. So I'm gonna take the more like cinnamon shade, the warmer brown, and just transition this up a little bit, just to soften it towards the brow. But normally I keep most of the deeper shade on that outer corner, but right now I'm bringing it more in the middle. So I'm gonna transform my eye shape just a little bit. Instead of elongating and adding that like great sharpness to the eyeshadow, I'm bringing it up in more of like a half moon. So that's gonna add depth to the crease of my eye. And also that's when you could, instead of a flare tip lash, you could bring a lash that gets longer in the middle. So that's a great way to kind of transform that eye if you've got a very large hooded lid like I do. Okay, now I'm gonna go to that espresso brown again, and just getting more of it in the crease and bring it up to the brow. Normally I focus it on this outer corner, but we're really bringing it in this time. I usually say, like, avoid the center of the eye, you know, leave it lighter and brighter. And that still stands. That's still one of my favorite ways to do eyeshadow, but this is about transformation. So see, bringing it in the middle there and still bringing it out on the outer corner, but now we're including the inner areas. Adding a lot of depth here. Lots of depth. I'm gonna get some of the warmer shade, that sort of cinnamon color there, and use it to transition and soften this with, but also to bring it up closer to the brow, keeping it smoky. Now, if you brought the darker eyeshadow all the way to the lash line, this would be really close to a smoky eye. But I'm still keeping the bottom eyelid a little bit lighter and brighter. So, because I don't want to totally close off my eyes, you know, adding more depth and being a little more dramatic doesn't equal, you know, really dark eyeshadow. Just means adding more depth, I guess. So now I'm going to take that deeper espresso brown and do underneath. Right at my lash line, but I've gone all the way over instead of ending about halfway over like I normally do. All right, on top, I already had a little bit of brown eyeliner because I started with that real basic makeup, but I'm gonna add black into it now. And I like this really great gel liner. It's super smudge proof. The formula is incredible. It's really creamy, but I'm still gonna end this about halfway over and make it disappear into my lashes. Let me come closer. How's that for close? All right, I've got both eyes done. Now from the same company, from Lime Life, I have a black eyeshadow. You can use whatever black eyeshadow you love, but I'm gonna take my small smudger brush and go right on top and just really soften the eyeliner. I want it to be kind of smoky. I want to add some depth to that lash line. And I also want to soften up any mistakes I made with my eyeliner. And now the speed bumps are less obvious. Those places where the eyeliner was going da-doo, 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 you can't see them as much. Just a little trick. And it looks really pretty too. Okay, now you can see this one's got a nice sharp edge on it, and this one's just kind of like stops right there. I got it a little crooked. You know, it's easier to do it on this side if you're right-handed than it is on your left side, but it's okay. I want you to trust the process because we're gonna slice it up with a little bit of concealer. So trust me on this, you guys, it's gonna be much easier than you think. I'm gonna go in and do some mascara and darken up my brows. So I'm gonna use my Tunnel Vision mascara. This is video number 4 I have used this mascara in, and I stinking love it. It's a tubing mascara. And I will drop the link in the description if you want to grab one for yourself. It's amazing if you're in the market for a good mascara. Because it's a tubing mascara, it's really nice and long wear. And so I really like it for my brides here at the beauty bar as well as my regular clients. They love this stuff. All right, so I've got those brows done, lashes on, super massive depth. You guys, look at that mascara, looking good. So I'm gonna head into some concealer now. Remember I said we're gonna kind of chop this and slice and dice that eyeshadow. It's gonna look beautiful. I am gonna go in with the pink shade. Now this isn't really like pink, but it's got like a pink undertone to it, because I really do want to brighten under those eyes, but not too much yellow. I've got a really olive shade of foundation on right now, so I don't want to go overboard with so much orange. I want to take it really easy. So let me grab my beautiful concealer brush. I stinking love this one. It's called Blending Concealer. So it's real fluffy on the end, and I'm going to use it with my concealer that I've been loving. This one has niacinamide and caffeine in it. So, I mean, you can't do better than that under them eyes. But I'm just gonna take about half of that concealer and get it right under the eyes here and here. Now that helps me kind of determine how much product I want under there. Drying out that brush just a little bit. And now depending on what concealer you like, you know, if you like a liquid, if you like a cream, you're gonna use it a little bit different. But if you like a liquid, I recommend a nice creamy liquid. Like this one, of course the link will be in the description, or Tarte Shape Tape Creamy is a really good one. There's other ones by different brands that are like long wear, crease proof, all the things, but they are really stiff and don't have great ingredients, you guys. So I want you to be careful of what you're putting under your eyes. If you can get one, like for example, by Estee Lauder that has some skincare in it, or like the one I'm showing you right now has a couple of great ingredients. So use skin-friendly products, especially on this delicate skin under your eyes. Now you can see just nice and easy fluffing under here, patting that down into the blush, and then gently slicing that eyeshadow. Really sharpens up that black that we use to smoke out the liner. Now we'll do the second eye. Same gig, a little here and a little here. Helps me just determine that I've got a good amount without making a giant, you know, greasy triangle under my eye. I don't like that much concealer. And now just easy buffing. And see how I'm almost laying that down like this, instead of just slicing, instead of just whipping that concealer brush under there. We're just really placing that product beautifully. And I keep drying it on the back of my hand occasionally because I want to keep it dry and fluffy, not really wet where I'm just slopping a bunch of product around. And now we'll slice up here. Another thing I love about this concealer is it doesn't dry super fast, so you can work with it really easily. And that keeps it from looking so dang, you know, creased and cakey. Really good and creamy formula. All right, and just patting it down into the blush. Oh, it looks so pretty. Just fluffing under those eyes a little bit, because sometimes if you put too much concealer under the eye, it can really like define that under eye too hard, and I want to keep it a little bit fluffy under there, a little bit smoky. Gives you kind of a sultry look. Sultry eyes. Also, with all of this dark kind of black that I've got going on, I mean, it's not a lot of black, but you know, it's a pretty deep eyeshadow for me. it's just giving me like this feeling, this flashback from 80s like rocker vibes. And I started singing in my head, I'm a cowboy, on a steel horse I ride, I'm wanted. Because I love me some Bon Jovi. I'm pretty sure that song was from the 90s anyway, but anything Bon Jovi gives me an 80s flashback. I always make jokes about how bad the old rockers are looking though. I mean, some of them are holding up well. Well, I don't know. I can't really think of one that's holding up really well, but even like John Bon Jovi, he still looks great. He looks healthy. He doesn't look all crazy like some of them, but he's starting to look like an old lady. Have you guys noticed that? All right, let's move along. I hope you noticed that I just back blended my blush just a tiny bit. And now we're gonna go into lips, and then we're gonna do some lashes. All of our favorite L words. All right, with lip liner, just soften up my lip line a little bit. This is gonna help there be a lot of contrast from the lip liner too. And it also helps hold that lip liner much longer. All right, I am using this beautiful shade called Harmony. Now this is by Kylie Jenner. I'm not a huge fan of her, and a lot of her products are, you know, questionable, but whatever. I do love this pink shade, and it does last a really long time. Plus we get a lot of brides who love the pink blushing bride look. So this shade actually is pretty useful there. So I'm gonna go right underneath. I'm taking it easy at first because it's a really creamy formula too. All right, I'm gonna do the Cupid's bow. Okay, got a pretty good buildup there. And you can see that's a really pretty pink. It's fairly bright though. I mean, it's much different than what you usually see me wearing around here, but it's fine. It's okay to be different. And what is transformation without something different, right? Okay, I'm gonna go in with a kind of neutral lipstick and a pink lipstick. So this pink is really bright. But it's also really beautiful. But I do want to tone it down. I feel like I've got enough going on with that pink lip liner, so I just want to mute out the pink lipstick just a little bit. So just added a tiny bit of a neutral right on top of it, a nice like actual nude that's not too orangey, and it toned it down just a little bit to make it a little more baby pink rather than bubblegum pink or Barbie pink. I'm just not in the mood for all that jazz right now. All right, let's take a look at the overall look. I'm cool with it. I really like it. I think I might deepen the eyeshadow, but we're definitely gonna do setting spray and then lashes because I don't wanna get setting spray in my lashes. I do that sometimes by mistake because I get so excited to apply those lashes. I get a little crazy. Where's my fan? Speaking of crazy. I found it. Okay, but what I was saying is I get excited to apply those lashes, I get them on, and then I'm like, oh, I have to do setting spray now. But if I'm using my beans and I'm not losing my beans, I remember to do setting spray and then lashes. You know, think about it. We don't want to spray our lashes. It just doesn't make any sense. Wow, this is really looking pretty. This is got some good contrast in it too with all the contour and everything. I am gonna ramp up the eyeshadow and the contour just a little bit. Hold up. Okay, you can see I went a little deeper with that contour on my cheeks. I'm gonna deepen that eyeshadow underneath just a little bit. I feel like I removed quite a bit with my concealer. So I wanna add that smokiness back in because that's one thing that's gonna make this look so much different than what I normally do. bring it all the way across. Just gonna make sure that top line is still nice and smoky and doing what it's supposed to be doing, looking good. And I did add a lot of depth to that eyeshadow, but I brought it up like this rather than out like I normally do, okay? It's looking pretty dang good. Now, I'm gonna go in with my lashes. You're gonna see what a huge transformation this is gonna make. All right, I've got my beautiful number 421s by Ardell. These are the naked lashes that I am in love with because the band is so beautiful and they're called an Invisiband, so I love them. But these are 421s, so they're a little bit longer than the usual. Slapping it right in that eyeliner line that I created, which is so good at disguising your lash band. I still cut off about 4 sections though. I didn't want the false lash to go all the way across just because that's uncomfortable for me. I don't like a false lash right over here. Especially if you've got a hooded lid, it may tickle in that area that, you know, maybe the skin is hanging right there or has, you know, lost elasticity, and then you've got an eyelash tickling it. So I like to keep that eyelash moved over and still the bulk of it on the outer corner. Coming in for landing with lash number 2. I've cut about 4 sections off. Again, keeping it on the outer area. All right, had a little bit of a disaster on this side. I accidentally got a bunch of foundation in the lash and the lash band was not laying down on the inner corner, but I'm gonna show you a trick. So if you are faced with lash disasters as well, my friends, which chances are you will be if you haven't been already, this trick will help you. All right, so I did, like I said, I got some foundation or concealer or something on the lash itself. So I'm gonna put a little bit of mascara on that here in a minute. But I've got that black eyeshadow and I'm gonna use my little slant brush that I use for my brows and just take a little tap of that black eyeshadow and just go right on top, stamping along. And right into the inner corner. And what happens is it closes that lash band off. So you can't see where it ends. You know, if you have a little problem with it sticking down like I sometimes do just right on the inner corner, I can stamp it down with a little like dark espresso brown or even black eyeshadow with a tiny slant brush, and man, it works great. So I'm gonna hop in with some mascara real quick and touch up the ends of the lashes just because I'm pretty sure that was concealer I got on there. And I was using some words that you don't wanna hear. It was a tragedy. All right, let me touch that up. All right, I got that hit with a little bit of mascara. Of course, you know, if it was bad, you could just take it off and put on a different lash. Don't panic about it, but these are good lashes and I don't like to waste them. All right, this is looking really beautiful. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buff with just a little bit more powder. Remember, I just kind of spot checked, so we're gonna go back with a small amount, just very strategically. Let me find a good brush for that. Let's use a small one. And my translucent powder, just right through the middle, right above my brows where I crease a little bit because I'm always surprised about something. Right through here. I'm not putting a bunch under my eyes though. I do not like to set under my eyes. All right, that is looking really good. Let's talk about that wig now, you guys. I love this makeup look. I'm feeling pretty confident about it, but my hair has gotten pretty thin and I really want to add something different. You know, like I said, I had investigated hair toppers and a lot of different things, but when I saw this beautiful wig, I just had to give it a try, especially because it's human hair. It's got the beautiful lace front, so it makes that hairline look more natural. Now, if you like bangs and stuff, that's okay, but this doesn't have bangs, so it's gonna look natural, the way that I like to style my hair, and I can even curl it if I want. So let's check it out. And my hair is so thin that I can just use a little tiny, like, clear rubber band to get it all back like this. So I'm just gonna get it in this tiny little, I call it a little cinnabon, like a little cinnamon roll in the back. It's not fat enough to like make an actual bun anymore. Okay, so I've got a weird little bun going back here, and now I'm just gonna bobby pin it to flatten it down to the back of my head, which is easy because, like I said, my hair is pretty thin. Okay, so that kind of like just spread it out over the back of my head. Now, something that came with it was a great band to hold your hair back with. And you can tell that the shape of it in the front, you know, really helps your scalp to show through here. So if there is a part in the middle, but if you were gonna do a part on the side, you may wanna move this to the side. Now this wig does have a part in the middle, and I do prefer a side part, but that's okay. Just for this part, for trimming and for brand new first time placement, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it the way that it was designed, right in the middle. And again, you guys, this is from that company Wig She. I absolutely love them. I am going to include a link in the description so that you can get a discount. So don't think I ain't giving you a discount code for something this incredible. But I know this is a common problem for a lot of us, you know, suffering hair loss because of menopause. And you know that I have really dealt with a lot since menopause, and weight gain and weight loss, and sometimes stress can even cause it. But even my mom had this hairline that went so far back like mine. And, you know, sometimes I'm really self-conscious about it. So, you know, finding great options to help me look and feel more confident, you know, it's what I'm all about. And it's not that I'm not confident, like I'm less than, but I just feel more beautiful, and it's fun. It's fun to transform. It's fun to enjoy the ability to transform the way that we look. All right, now you can see the lace front right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that trimmed. Now, if you need help trimming something like this, what I did was I just watched some beautiful beginner videos on YouTube, and it really helped me understand how to safely trim my lace because I was afraid I was gonna ruin it. So let me get that trimmed. I've almost got the lace completely cut. I cut it in half first, and then just begin to go around the edges, and it's got those bleached knots. So that really helps it not to be so obvious on the scalp. And those were actually just lash scissors that I was using. I know sometimes they use different small scissors, but I love those lash scissors, and I've used them a million times. So I was really nervous about that. So let me line up the hairline a little bit better, because that's obvious it's not mine if the hairline is that low, right? We don't want to look like totally not ourselves at all. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and take it back off and check out where the little combs are up front. It's got 2 combs, and it's also got this great like clip-in band for the back. So I'm gonna work on that first. All right, I got it on all the way, and I've got the clips on the back. This is so secure, you guys, this is crazy. This feels very, very secure. It fits my head beautifully. Of course, you know, it's nice and stretchy, but it doesn't feel itchy. And I was very concerned about that. Would it make my scalp feel itchy? Because I'm kind of a weirdo about that kind of stuff, but this feels beautiful. Like I said, it's like right when I brought it out of the box the first time, I did just put it on my head to do a quick Instagram video to be like, look what I got. I just kind of set it on quick, but I hadn't even trimmed the lace. I looked at it and I was like, this smells amazing. Straight out of the box, it smells beautiful. And I was shocked at that. I don't know why. I expected it to smell weird, but you guys, I've literally never worn a full wig except for like a costume wig. you know, if I was doing like costume makeup or something, but I've never worn a nice, beautiful wig like this. And I've certainly never trimmed a lace front before. So I was really nervous about this, and I keep feeling it because I'm just in disbelief at how secure this feels. And I think I've got the hairline where it looks pretty natural. It looks like I may want to cut the lace a little bit better here, but if I was going to put it back behind my ears, I know that there is like glue, like you can use Got To Be Glued and edge control and stuff like that, but I don't really want to glue anything to my head at this point. Like maybe later when I get used to it, I can, but that day is not today, my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and curl this just a little bit and see if I can make this look like something I would actually wear. All right, just popping a tiny bit of curl in this did kind of transform the whole look of it. So I think that I could wear it straight or with a little bit of curl, or maybe even move this part to the side and then, you know, have a side part like I normally do, because that makes a big change in how I look too, just having my hair parted down the middle. So you guys tell me what you think about this, and if you are looking for some solutions for your hair loss, or if you're just wanting to change and transform your look, I think that this is a great option. There's so many different styles. You don't have to go as long as I did. You could definitely get shorter, different colors available. And I wanted to keep something similar to my own color, not completely different. You know, I didn't want to go gray because what was the point? There's no transformation there. But I didn't want to go totally brown yet, because I wasn't looking to like necessarily look like a different person. I just wanted to try something fun and, like I said, really kind of transform my look. So just adding a few little curls with I think this is a 3/4 inch barrel. Kind of transformed the look of that too. So tell me what you think, you guys. I was really nervous about this. Like I said, I've never worn a beautiful wig like this, and I'm gonna wear it all day. I'm gonna wear it home, and I'll report back about what Mr. Alves thinks. I'm gonna put a little hairspray on it. I feel kind of like it's a static hair day, and this might get staticky. Plus, I just like hair after it's got a tiny bit of hairspray in it. I feel like it's a little more manageable, and maybe then it won't stick to my face either. There we go. And I think I might wash it with a little bit of purple shampoo. If that's a thing, I'm gonna definitely study on how to take great care of this thing, because it's gorgeous, very high quality, but I think I might wanna tone down the yellow in it. I'm not sure. Cool it off a little bit. What do you think? Definitely not ready to try any edge glue, but man, I love it. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me here on my channel to try something new and try a transformation. I hope that you like this look. I hope you give it a try. Even if you don't want to try the wig, give the ramped up makeup look a try. I hope that you had a great time with me today, and I hope you know that I appreciate you. Love you guys. Bye, everyone.